But wait, what is that? You hearing that? That is the drums that the ancestors played to make the sweet, sweet melodies that have you on your feet. The flavors and the dancers does make you feel to dance. Ha 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 ha. I am the spirit that has taken you to the heart of the band, to the pulse and iron, the part that has make you do like Shadow and Dingoli when you hear it play. Lickety-tiki, lickety-tiki, lickety-tiki,
I am Marcus Ash, the Education Officer of Pan Trinbago, and today we are going to go through a journey of the Steeelpan manufacturing, Steeelpan manufacturing. Now, as you know, a lot of people would know the history of the discarded oil drums, but today we're going to show you 21st century style Steeelpan making. So we're going to take you first through Pan Trinbago's drum factory, which is a best kept secret to many people, in which you will learn about how we make the drums today, after which you will learn how we are tuning. So I'm going to turn you over now to Mr. Junior Hutchinson, right there in the drum factory.
Today we're discussing the material used to create the pans or drums made specific for the pans in Trinidad and Tobago and the wider Caribbean. My name is Junior. Welcome to Pan Trinbago's drum plant. So the material that we have before us here is material that was shipped in made specific for pan, more commonly known as A-grade mild steel. The material used for making the drums of pans are A-grade mild steel. Right? It consists of two parts. We have it shipped in two parts. First, covers, and then we have skirts, which come in a kidney style formation. Right? Now let's talk a little about A-grade mild steel. A-grade mild steel composition is a little bit different than that of bulk steel, wherein it has a lot more rich elements which allows you to have more acoustic properties when we build the drum. Right? So basic two parts, as I said before, cover and the skirt or kidney. Right? Moving along, we have the first machine that we use in the process of drum making, which is the roller. As you will see, the material comes in a kidney style, kidney shape outfit, basically for packaging, no other purpose, and saving space. You can plug a lot more when the material is in this form. Right? material goes onto the roller and is expanded into a circular form. Right? We allow this to happen for a couple of seconds and then it's removed and go to the second phase. Second phase is the reamer. The reamer allows you to have a reed edge which it compresses and gives the form more rigidity. So this is the first step in the rigidity or the stiffening of the skirt of the drum. Right? Moving along, I want to introduce you all to the expander, which is the second phase of strengthening of the drum, also known commonly here as jaws of death. Very robust machine, allows us capability to put in 2 reinforcement rings. The reinforcement rings help again with the stiffening of the very set technique that we saw in the beginning of the video. So this here is more or less what we were ending up with. You can see 2 inventions being made from the 2 jaws here. Jaw 1 and 2, grade 1 and 2. Mainly for rigidity and the stiffening of the drum. Right? Then we have the final stage where the drum is put together. And the seamer. Right? Follow me with the take cover. Now goes on to the flute. And then this process here is called seaming. This machine allows the cover to be rolled and attached to the skirt. Right? To create somewhat of a very strong one. Right? There are 2 different types of rolls or seaming that are commonly used in drum making. The flat roll and the rock roll. Our machine allows us to do the flat roll. Follow me here. This is what a flat roll. This is what a flat roll looks like in the end. So here we have from beginning to end process of making one of these drums specific for pan.
So now that you have taken that journey through the drum factory, I trust that your eyes are now open. So we are going to continue this process now with the steel pan making. So we have the drums, now we're going to make the steel pan. And here today we have 4 distinguished young gentlemen who will be presenting. They come from different backgrounds, all with different skill sets, but they are all pan tuners. And here today we have the first person, no stranger with name. We have the son of Mr. Carrie Codrington from the Codrington Institute. This will be followed by Mr. Kyle Noel, a very good young tuner here today, Noel Steeelpan Productions. We're going to then be followed by a member of the BP Renegades and the owner of Perfect Steel, Mr. Juma Simmons. And finally, we're going to take it home by someone who has made their name across the world as a young tuner, Mr. Augustus Peters from Augustus Peters Pans. So, we are going to take it away now over to Kaija Codrington.
Hi, my name is Kaija Codrington, a representative of Codrington Family Institute. And today we are going to talk a little bit about steps involved in steel pan manufacturing. So the first 2 steps we are going to speak about would be sinking the drum and shaping the drum. So first we're going to choose our drums. So we look for particular metal steel that are 18 gauge, 1.2 barrels. And we have these barrels here. Alright, so we select our barrels, and what we're going to do, we're going to mark our drum with circles. We're going to get the radial lines, and these are guidelines for sinking. So we have a specific marking here, and we have another marking here. So the second marking is where we're going to dissect the drum, because some people find it easier if you put more markings, you have a more guide to follow to get a more balanced sinking. So we have our markings, and we're going to look at the traditional way of sinking. So this is a 6-pound sledgehammer. So this is what we use for the traditional way of sinking. It's fully manual. We use our body as the force behind sinking the barrel. But in our case, what we use in particular are the pneumatic tools. So we call this a pneumatic hammer. It's actually a pneumatic sand rammer that we modify the head to get a pin where we can move the metal or push the drum down. So we're going to attach the air hose to the pneumatic tool and proceed to sink the barrel. So when it comes to sinking the drum, we have to pay particular attention to the shape of the bowl. And the reason for that is when we go to mark our pans for actually shaping the notes, if the drum hasn't been sung properly, then we could have problems later on, especially when it comes to tuning. And we don't want to have too many problems when we reach the stage of tuning, because that's almost the final step. So we have our drum sung already, an example, right? And now we can go to shaping. So shaping is where we're going to form the notes, or form the shape of the notes. So we use a smaller pneumatic tool so that we can move around and maneuver the notes to get the shape that we want. And when it comes to shaping, we pay particular attention to isolation. So at our workplace, we look at it as a cell, a human cell. So where the human cell has different components, we have the cell membrane, the nucleus. The node could be likened to that theory. So the membrane would be the outer layer of the node. So that is the body of the node. The nucleus would be the fundamental area where we're going to strike. The player is going to strike with the stick. So we want to make sure that fundamental area is protected. And we're going to pay close attention to that when we sink and shape. So after sinking and shaping, we are ready for grooving.
Hi, I am Kyle Noel, and today I'm going to talk about the process of grooving and setting of a Steeelpan. Now grooving is very important, very crucial in the Steeelpan making process, because grooving is where the notes are separated, and it also gives each note chance to get a sense of vibration individually then. So it not just separates each note, but it also gives a sort of independency in terms of vibrations of the notes. So what most Steeelpan makers and tuners will use to groove the notes is a nail punch and a hammer. So I have with me here a nail punch, and we can see that the head, most of the head of the nail punch could be between 4 to 7 millimeters in diameter. And for most Steeelpan makers, they tend to at least have the length of the nail punch at least 10 centimeters in length. Just for comfort, well, for me, for comfort, because there's a particular way in which we were taught to hold the nail punch. So you don't just hold it as though you're writing, but you actually hold it sort of like this. So as you can see, my pinky is way to the bottom of the nail punch, and that is just to guide as I go. So although my pinky will be flushed on the drum, it also guides even when I have to turn, because we tend to use a lot of circular notes, right? So I have a pan with me here, so I'm just going to show how I hold the nail punch, right? So this is the outer notes, but most Steeelpan makers tend to groove the inner notes first, but I'll just demonstrate on the outer, right? I'm not able to hold the hammer with me, but I'm just showing you how it's done. So while my hand is moving, the hammer is being struck on the head or the top of the nail punch as it goes, right? And to me, this grooving stage is it's difficult, but it takes a very skilled steel pan maker to actually get the grooving done, right? So I'll hold it again without the pan, and this will be the hammer, and you continue to tap as you go. And yes, there's a rhythm to it as well. Sometimes most of the groovers tend to not stop while they groove, right? So it's a continuous flow. Long ago, most of the steel pan makers would groove freehand, meaning just groove just as you see me demonstrate. But now we use what is called a clamp, where the clamp is designed for precise grooving. So when you see somebody grooving a pan using a clamp, that is precise grooving. So you wouldn't get your grooves to actually, fall out of the note itself while grooving, right? So you're going to get accuracy and precise grooving, and your steel pan is going to come out very neat, right? So that'll be it for the grooving stage. But after the grooving, of course, you're going to what they call beat out or just smoothen the surface area on the drum or on the pan itself, right? And that is going to lead you into what is called setting of the steel pan or the drum itself. And setting this is crucial, and this is where the tuning actually begins as well, because setting, for me personally, is one of the most crucial parts in making of a steel pan. Because once your setting is precise and accurate and I would say correct, then pre-tuning, fine-tuning becomes very easy, right? So I have with me here a normal hammer. It's plastic on both ends, but this hammer here is really good for setting, and it also gives you a smooth finish on your steel pan as well. So everything, you're thinking about accuracy, you're talking about even having your pan look as neat and smooth as possible, because for me, I would always think of my customers and what I am bringing to the table for them. So setting hammer, and that's all you need. Most importantly, PPEs, right? To protect your ears, you have to have your earmuffs, gloves, just in case you might hammer your finger or anything. So, those things are very important as well, regarding grooving, setting, even from stage 1, sinking. However, with the grooving, I wouldn't tend to use gloves while holding the nail punch. Again, for consistency and accuracy. And there's a feel as well, because I would want to feel on the drum itself while I'm hammering, right? So again, crucial parts, grooving, most important part, setting, because again, setting gets you to actually get tuning for you as a tuner to get it easy as possible.
Hi, my name is Juma Simmons. I'm a Steeelpan tuner. I'm going to speak about burning and pre-tuning a raw tenor pan. So after it's made, we burn the pan, which can be done different ways. Some people torch, some people use a wood fire. In Trinidad and Tobago, it's commonly done on a ring stove. The temperature and the length of how long the burning process is determined by the tuner himself. So after it's done, burnt, we begin the raw tuning. So we use a number of tools to do this process. Some people use a wedge, which gives us the body mass of the note. Some people use a hammer. So I'm going to start by raising the note. And then using the hammer and the stick. This is done note by note until we have tuned every note on the pan. Some people do the inside notes first, some people do the outside, some people tune chromatically. This is a tuning program which is called Lino Tune. It helps guide and show how accurate the note is. So after each note is tuned and is in correct pitch, we carry it to a coat. You have different types of coating. You have paint, powder coat, and chrome plating. Trinidad and Tobago, majority of pans are chrome plated.
Hi, my name is Augustus Peters. I'm here to demonstrate a bit on fine-tuning the instrument after it's been chromed. Whatever finish the customer decides, right? But before even taking it to be chromed or powder coated or painted, we usually clean the pan, make sure it's free from all rust or any pitted marks that may be on the playing surface on this skirt. Alright, so today the tools we'll be using here, we have some magnets to block out your octaves so you don't get it feeding back too much into the lower notes. You want each note independent. On the side, we have our tuner here, Lino Tune, and our hammers to do this for the stick. Right, so when the pan is chrome, painted or powder coated, the notes usually go out of tune from the first tuning, so you're basically putting the note back into pitch. Right, so it wouldn't be as much work as the pre-tuning. But it could be tricky because you have to work where you protect the finish that was placed on the instrument. So it's a more delicate process. Alright, so we'll do one note here to demonstrate. We're going to work on D5 right now. You could hear it. It's out of tune. I get your song here. We go from the underside to raise because with the constant polishing and the heat, the notes lose some of its body. Mask, the magnet stops them from vibrating, so this note is fully independent. Then we'll do D6 here.
one you do D4. Right, so because it has been tuned already, as I say, it's a delicate process, and whilst raising the note, is listening to all the partials, the different partials. So at the side you would have your A5, right? You have your octaves to the top here, and this center area here you have your fundamental. And there are other little partials, right? But those are the primary ones, right? We use a much bigger stick because we have pan players here who tend to be very excessive. So we use a bigger stick to make sure that the note stays in tune. So I'm actually using a second stick. It would assist the note by what we call sympathetic vibration as a natural occurrence. You get a nice note in the end, and you just repeat this process throughout the whole pan. Give it some time to relax, or you could give somebody to play it for you and you will do the finer tuning later on, simply because the metal is always constantly moving at this stage. Right?
So we have come to the end of this program. You would have seen the entire journey into making a steel band, from the making of the drums to the making of the steel band. I am Marcus Ash, the Education Officer of Pan Trinbago, and on behalf of the Central Executive of Pan Trinbago, the Events Committee of Pan Trinbago, we'd like to thank you for viewing. Do enjoy the rest of your day.